We As Human.
That's us. We're We As Human. Hi, Brooke.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. How's it going? Can you all introduce yourselves and tell everybody what you do?
Well, I'm Jake. I play guitar.
I'm Justin. I'm the lead singer.
I'm Justin. I play guitar.
And I'm Adam. I play drums.
So, how did you all get started?
Adam and I started playing music when we were like teenagers together, or preteens, really. We grew up together, went to church together, played in church bands together. Adam's dad he's a great musician. His name's Dan, and he really kind of took me and a few of the other younger guys under his wing and taught us how to be musicians. And in our small town of Sandpoint, Idaho, he was kind of a weirdo. Like, people didn't really get his dad, and I loved it. Like, I didn't. Because people didn't really get me, and they didn't really get the musician thing just in a small town, you know. So as we got older, we just kept playing together, and got some guys together back in the early 2000s, and just started jamming and writing a little bit of music, and seeing what this whole band thing was about. We didn't know any bands. We didn't know how to be a band. We didn't know that bands. I didn't even know, anyways, that you could make a good living being a band. I just thought bands played because they liked to play, you know. So, cut to about 6 years ago, we decided to get really serious, and brought in Dave Dragoo, our bass player. Stole him from Spokane, Washington. Found him on MySpace, right before MySpace. And then he came in. We started doing like little tours. We just went down the West Coast and begged and pleaded, like bars, churches, music venues. We didn't care. Like anybody who would have us, we'd go in and play. So the churches actually kind of kept us alive, man, because we go play, and some of the churches would show up and they just give us like $1,000 just for showing up, just because they knew we were broke, we didn't have any money, you know. Yeah, so we started touring a little bit and getting our name out there, and just did that for a few years, and then 4 years ago, I did play guitar and sing when We As Human first started. And I decided, like, I just want to sing. I don't want to play guitar anymore. We had just lost our guitar player, Tom Vernon. So we needed a guitar player, and we're sorry. I keep putting my hand on Jake's leg. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm terrifying him. And I'm making this really long. I'm gonna wrap it up. Needed a new guitar player. I was like, why audition one? I'll quit playing guitar. We'll get two. Opened up auditions. These guys and a bunch of other people auditioned, but they were far superior to everybody else. Oh my gosh, phenomenal. I remember hearing both of their audition CDs, and just my mind was blown. I was like, I gotta have these guys in my band. Jake was in New Mexico, Justin was in Seattle, Washington, nowhere close. They joined the band, and then and that's kind of how we got started and kind of became the band we are today. So we've been with this lineup for about 4 years, and this is amazing. This is just really comfortable.
So your album came out earlier this year, this summer, right?
Yeah.
Right? Did you guys were you writing songs together for that, or have they been something that you've had written for a while, or was it a group thing?
Some of all.
Yeah, kind of all of the above. We wrote some songs together. We wrote Dead Man together. We actually wrote Dead Man a number of years ago. Wrote Taking Life together. Wrote I Stand together. All of the songs, even if we didn't write it together, right? And there were some of the rest of them were co-writes. I'd go and write. When we signed to Atlantic Records, they kind of swung the floodgates open for us. They're like, are there any artists you want to write with? They're songwriters? And I'm like, wow. So like we went and I wrote with John 5 from Marilyn Manson. None of those songs, I guess this was Rob Zombie now, none of those made the record. Or that one didn't. I thought it was good. A song called Twist Your Mind. Wrote with Eric Bash from Shinedown, because I love Shinedown. Wrote with Carl Bell from Fuel. Wrote with John Cooper from Skillet. And then just wrote with a bunch of rock writers that none of you have probably ever heard of, because they just write. They're not artists or whatever. So did a lot of that. And then we would just write the melody and real basic music, and then I'd bring it back, and if we liked it, then me and the band would get into our rehearsal dungeon and just rip them apart and make it more fluid for who we are, and make sure it represents all of us, not just me as a songwriter, but represents all of us as musicians and artists as well. So we did all of it. We had some older songs like I Stand and Dead Man that played the record, Taking Life, and then we had some brand new ones. The two last songs that were written for the whole album, I wrote like 55 songs for the album, were Strike Back and Fall Apart, and those were our first two we were in the studio selecting songs like to start recording that day, and that's when I finally played for these guys like Strike Back, Fall Apart, you know. So yeah, we kind of, it was just all over the place, and it was beautiful and perfect and wonderful.
And as a band, you guys, like, what is your mission statement? What are you guys trying to get across to people that come out and see you or listen to your music? Is there something that you guys really want to hit home to people when they hear your songs?
Yes. Yeah, I think so, and I think it's apparent in our music. People don't have to listen to music for very long to see exactly what we're about. We're 5 Christian guys. We live life for Christ. We live life for our family and our friends and our fans, and we want to honor all of them in everything that we do. And we have so many different messages in our music. Like you think about songs like Sever, that I wrote about my nephew Tyler passing away from cancer just before he turned 3, or songs like Dead Man that was inspired by a poem called My Suicide from a girl in Washington State who has cerebral palsy, and just so many different stories that are told. What we want people to take away, what I guess our mission statement is, if we were to have to kind of put it out there, is that we want people to know that we genuinely believe what we're singing about. That I've never believed that you can fully understand an entire band in a night or an album. You've got to spend some time, some years getting to know them and watch how they live their life. There's so many people who will just change from one album to the next, and you never really know where they are. And so we wanted to start a relationship that lasts the rest of our life, hopefully, with our fans. And they can watch who we are and see if we're men of character and see if we really are who we're presenting ourselves as. So we live under a microscope or a spotlight for sure, you know, and people know things about us that like still surprises us. They're like, oh my God, they come to the show and they're like, hey, how's your daughter? She just turned 4, right? And how are things on, and they'll, like, they know everything about us. And so we live under that, and so we try to be men of integrity, and but also just rock and roll. We love rock and roll. You know, it's at the end of the day, it's about the songs, it's about the music, and we want people to know that music comes from our heart. It's not anything we're doing just to live a living. If we were doing it for money, we would quit a long time ago. We would not be here right now if we were in this just for the money or fame or anything. You know, because all that washes away and it gets old and the new wears off. You know, and eventually you get tired of the shiny pennies. So yeah, we're in this for the long haul. We love our fans, our family, faith. That's kind of what we're about.
Do you guys have a song that you love playing live? Or any other song?
It's different for all of us. What's yours?
My favorite song is I Stand. And just the audience goes nuts. Everybody wants to I Stand. It does. It means something. It means something to us. We talk about it every day.
Yeah.
We brought in Take Bullets Away to our set on
Which
this tour.
awesome, by the way.
Yeah, we love that song.
I loved it
It's
tonight.
starting to really fire off the cylinders right now, so I'm digging it.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys added that because I don't think you played at the Uprise.
We didn't, and we didn't do it on Carnival Madness with Shine Down.
And your favorite song to play live?
Bring the Lights on my favorite song.
Oh yeah. We didn't do that one tonight.
Yeah, we did. Although Strike Back is when it's going to finally get to that point where it's finally translating fully. I think it's going enough. That's pretty fun.
So touring with Red and Filter, has there been any highlights this time around with them so far?
I know, meet and greets.
Yeah, meet and greets.
This is the first tour we've ever done meet and greets. So we opened it up to our fans, and before every show they come down and we just get to hang out for like an hour. We have a special humanoid necklace that we had made just for them, and we sing the songs acoustically, like we do Bullets, Take the Bullets Away acoustically, and a bunch of different songs. And so getting to spend, because it's when you go play as many shows as we do, you don't get to spend a lot of time with the fans.
Right.
And so doing the meet and greets where we get to spend an hour with them and learn their names and hear their stories and how much our music is affecting their life, that's definitely my number one pick for like the highlight. Yeah.
Do you guys have any like touring plans for early next year? Anything set up for that? Or
We do.
Yes, we do. In fact, it just announced
Yesterday.
we are going to hit the road on the Rock and Worship Roadshow with Skillet's headlining it. Third day, Jamie Grace, Royal Taylor, The Ever Found, us, We Are Humans. I like to ruin our name whenever I can. That's the argument. Are they not on there? Maybe the Everfell's not on there. Anyways, we're on there, Skillet, third day. So that's 2 months. Starts January, goes through beginning of March, I think, something like that. And then we have another tour that's another 2 months. It starts right after that, like 11 days after that one ends. But that one hasn't been announced yet, so we can't say anything about it. Yeah, and then we have a tour coming up right after the self-inflicted tour we're on right now with Family Force 5.
Unless you have anything you want to throw out there, anybody, or fans, say anything.
Pick up our album.
Yes.
Pick up our album. Shout out to Humanoids.
Humanoids. Go to our social
fans named
media,
themselves
Facebook, Twitter,
Everything is
website,
at
human.com.
Yeah.
That was Me as Human at the Chameleon Club in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. For all other interviews, articles, and anything else on your favorite artists, go to hmmagazine.com.